Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. So today we are going to be talking about the Battle of Crete. As you can see, I made this massive build, which realistically this is the biggest I can go for my setup. 48 studs there, that away, by 96 studs this way. So two of the big 48 by 48 gray base plates. So this is the biggest that I can go for my setup, like I just said, because of the fact that I don't have as much room as I wish, but it's okay, because I think this still looks fine. I managed to capture the Battle of Crete pretty well here. You got the German paratroopers on this side, trying to push towards the British on this side, which there's only a few British on this build, like I think 3 British. So you got one guy in the house, one guy right there on the machine gun, you got another guy on the machine gun here. But right now we're not talking about that. We're just going to get into the history of the Battle of Crete now. So the Battle of Crete lasted from May 20th, 1941 to June 1st, 1941, which lasted 13 days. And the Battle of Crete was the first occasion where Fallschirmjäger, which I hope I didn't mispronounce that, or German paratroopers, as they are called, were used en masse. And it was the first mainly airborne invasion in military history. And one thing I find super interesting about this whole ordeal with the Battle of Crete is that it taught Hitler that, maybe using paratroopers en masse like this wasn't such a good idea. So after this, I believe they were basically just used as ground troops. So that's just something interesting, because they were still used in certain little operations from time to time, but they were usually used as ground troops since then. Like, for example, they rescued Mussolini later on after this battle. I don't know specifically what year it was. I want to say it was 1944 or 45. I can't specifically remember the year, but it might have been 43. I can't remember that off the top of my head, but if you know that, please let me know down below. That is a part of history I'm still trying to learn, but I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. The German paratroopers did go and rescue Mussolini. So, but one thing that, ended up happening after the Battle of Crete was the Axis forces occupied the island of Crete, and it was the establishment of Fortress Crete. And basically it was just the Germans fighting the British, essentially. But I mean, it wasn't just that simple. There was also, the people lived there, probably fought against the Germans, stuff like that. But really, I just want to make this simple, just talk in simplicity about what's going on this build, not make everything too complicated or anything like that. Because here, we like to keep things simple. We like to just talk about the basics. Because if someone's watching this and they're like, what's the Battle of Crete? Or, just wanting to learn a little bit more about this battle, then that's what we're here to do. And if you have any information about this battle you would like to share, you are welcome to do that down below in the comments section. And so now we're going to get into the build. So now we're going to get into talking about the build that I made for the Battle of Crete. So this is the second time, well, technically third time, but technically second completed build, because the first time I tried building the Battle of Crete, it ended up like this. And that was the first time I attempted the Battle of Crete, but that scale on 48 by 96, I believe that is, was way too big for me at the time, because I didn't have a lot of money, and I still don't, but that was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, something like that. Like, I think 3-4 years ago, actually, something like that. But I have a little more money now, a lot more parts that I've accumulated over the years, so it's a little easier for me to do this now, considering I didn't really have to buy much for this besides like those camo Germans, and I think that's really it. I think it's really all I've had to buy just to do this build. So, I mean, it's pretty much fine for me. So, yeah. But, one thing I will say that I'm really happy with this build about is just the fact that I managed to capture this beach nicely, because the first time I did it, obviously it was going to be a beach, but like I didn't have those water pieces at the time. I didn't get these, I think, until I did my D-Day build, or something like that. I forget specifically which one I bought water pieces for. I think it was my D-Day build, though. But I had water pieces, I think, for that, if memory serves me correctly. And so the second time I did it, it was a 48 by 48 build, which that one was my first completed Battle of Crete, because the one I just showed you on that little short video wasn't completed. Like I said, it was a bit much for me at the time. But the 48 by 48 build, I do have a YouTube like community post on if you would like to see it. So maybe after this video, or you can pause it right now and go check that out, whatever you want to do. But yeah, we're going to get into this build now because it's been a whole yap session for me right now. So yeah, you can see I just captured a beach right. It's kind of desolate a bit, but I think it looks nice for what I wanted to do. I actually didn't even use the 1x1 clear pieces. I just used these blue ones, and I think it looks so nice doing it like that. I think it gives it a different level of detail. You can let me know down below what you think. I think it looks nice, and I would have loved to do like the whole blue studs all the way around like I did on my Iwo Jima build, but like I barely had enough water to even fill this. So that's where I was at. But yeah, you can see you got a German on an MG34. You have another German there with his Luger. And that's little white crate there is just their little weapons crate. I wanted to put a weapon in there, but then I literally could not figure out what to put in there for one. And for two, I was like, that would be cool. I just think the only problem I would have with that is I don't want an inaccurate weapon, because these camo ones didn't come with K98s. They came with Panzerfaust, and I'm not going to put a Panzerfaust there because that would be inaccurate, and I don't think I really had anything besides like a K98 with a scope. And I was like, I sincerely doubt they would drop that for them, because maybe they did, but that scope would probably break, wouldn't it? Or is it that secure? I don't know. Makes me wonder. I was like, I don't know. Deep level of thought, I decided to make it look like they took all the weapons, and that guy's just stuck with that. Or he just couldn't get his out yet, who knows. You can see this guy here, he's reloading. He has a little happy face. I gotta replace the heads of these Germans and finish the British and all that, because the British, as you can see, just have gray little hands. So I gotta get them some hands with my next Bricklink order. As you can see, this guy here, he's one of those camo Germans I was talking about, which look really nice considering they are paratroopers. Has a two-tone, well, it's not two-tone, that's more of a printed style K98, as you can see with that guy there too. They look super nice. I mean, really, they look really nice. I bought them off AliExpress. And these other Germans, these gray ones, they're just some Brickmania sticker pack Germans I messed up on and just put the Fallschirmjäger, like brick arms stuff on them, since I had some already from my previous time I tried the Battle of Crete on a 48 by 48 base plate. So basically half the size of this build. And you can see there, he's got a K98, he's got a K98, he's an MP40. That's, camera quality is being weird right now, but hopefully it's not that bad. As you can see, he's got a K98 as well. He has a Brick Arms K98. I literally was trying to give them all just a bunch of K98s because, like, that's a really common rifle that I'm sure they carried. So, I thought that'd be pretty accurate. You can see you got this guy here, this British soldier. He's got another happy face. Like I said, I have to replace his head at some point. I gotta do that with my next Bricklink order. Gonna buy like 10 heads so I can replace all these heads for my British and my Germans, for these guys at least, just these guys. But you can see he's got a Bren gun, he's just firing there. The bipod's in such an odd place. I do have a bipod on it, it's just really weird, as you can see. So, you can see it's more just a dying farm with a crater in it. So, I think it's pretty interesting. It's nothing too crazy. I was doing this what I have, so I don't have to spend so much money on this build, because I want to be able to take this build apart hopefully soon. So yeah. As you can see, there's also this German here. He's throwing a... I'm not even trying to pronounce that grenade in German because I will absolutely butcher it and I have no clue how to pronounce it in the first place. But you can see there's just, you know, bullets. Like this guy on the machine gun here, he's suppressing fire on this bunker so that he can throw the grenade in to this bunker, which this German, or not German, sorry, this British guy here, I gotta replace his head and his hands, as you can see. They're basically the same situation, except they're no sticker pack that I messed up on. They're just some random tan parts that I had. So, you can see he's got a Lewis gun. Hopefully you can see that. It's a little dark, but, you know. But, yeah. You can see there is also the door there on the bunker. Made like a decent little look there. And then here you go to this little farmhouse, which hopefully you can see in there a bit. If not, I'll grab a flashlight real quick, which I might actually have to. Hang on. I don't really have a big, like a tiny little flashlight I can hold, so I just got my little lantern right here. So we're just going to hold this right now a little bit close, as you can see, just because I don't have the light here, because I have my little lamp on up there, as you can see. But it just does not help right here. So, you can see in here you got this British guy, you know, important figure, I guess you could say, like some form of a commander. I don't know what rank, I'm just saying, you know, he's like a little guy just sitting here trying to figure out what in the world he should do with the Germans attacking outside, what to do. And he's just studying his map a bit. Maybe I can zoom out. There we go. See, he's got a bottle of something there, like wine or whatever. He's got his revolver there, and he's got a glass there. And you can see in the corner, though, there is a bucket with a shovel in it. I just thought that was a neat detail, considering this is a farmhouse. And there is a door on this farmhouse. It just doesn't open and close. But yeah, I believe that pretty much sums up this build. I mean, really, there isn't that much to talk about besides that. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty basic build. Like, as you can see, it's not like anything crazy. It's just a 48 by 96 Battle of Crete. Just a ton of grass here, a dying farm, I guess. Got British guy in here commanding, and you got 2 British machine gunners. I wanted to have more British, but I don't have enough parts to even make more, like, with rifles and stuff, so pretty much that's what I was just kind of stuck with. But yeah, as you can see, the guy in here, he was on a Lewis gun. The guy in there, well, right there, he has a Bren gun. So, yeah. Hopefully the next build that I do will be this big, or at least project-wise will be this big, because I do have a smaller project I'm working on. I have 2 different projects I'm working on, but one of them is kind of just an easy one that I've just had in the making for quite a while now that I kind of thought about. So, yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. It's been a bit of a long one. It's been like maybe 13 minutes or something like that now. I don't know exactly. But, yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoy this. I want to say thank y'all for the support. We're at, last I checked, 218 subscribers and 99,500 something views total. So I want to say thank y'all for this amazing year. We're coming up close to a new year, 2026. So hopefully this year has been great for y'all. It's been pretty good for me. I mean, I've been short on money this year, but hopefully next year I can get something going with this, at least a little bit if I can figure it out. I'm not too sure what that'll be yet, but yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video and this build. Probably won't be doing another video on this. Probably will be taking this apart slowly but surely. Probably starting with these grass pieces, the bunker, the house, the trees, the figures, just, you know, all that. So yeah, y'all probably won't see any more of this on this channel, but y'all will see some other builds coming up this year. Not sure specifically how many builds I'm going to make this year. Don't know where I'm going to go this year, but I'm hoping this year, not this year as in 2025, but this upcoming year, I mean, sorry. with 2026, I would love to start getting into World War One. That's something I'd love to get into. Either World War One or just something a little more interesting like the American Civil War. Just something like that, because I can get into the American Civil War. That is something I could do if I wanted to buy a ton of, like, American Civil War soldiers, because I do have a few already. I have, like, 10. So, I mean, I could do something big on this scale and make, like, a Battle of Gettysburg or just something random like that, you know. I think it'd be interesting, because I do have a bit of family history tied to the American Revolution. I'm not really sure off the top of my head how much, but I know that I do have a bit of family history tied to the Revolution. Or not Revolution, sorry, American Civil War. My mind is clouded right now. I meant American Civil War. Excuse me and my slowness right now. It's been a bit of a long week. So, yeah, just a lot on my mind right now. But I'm fine. It's just, you know, just thinking, like, my mind's at, like, 90 miles per hour. Trying to think what projects I'm doing. Figuring out how to word everything. But, yeah, but maybe this year I'll do some more in the American Civil War. But, I don't know, maybe I should do something in the American Revolution. I think that'd be interesting, because I do have some family history in the American Revolution as well. So I don't know. I think it'd be really interesting. Same with World War One. You know, I'd love to experiment with just a bunch of random stuff, because I've really only done World War Two so far. So I think it'd be interesting to, you know, do, like, if I did World War One, you know, like, something that's, you know, Americans versus Germans instead of the usual British versus Germans or French versus Germans. But, I mean, it wouldn't be so bad to start out with French versus Germans and all that, because, I mean, that's all pretty simple. It would be cheap and easy for me, honestly, probably, because I don't know where I'd get, like, American, like, World War One soldiers at for a decent price, unless I just go with, like, Brickmania sticker packs, considering that, like, around the world there's tariffs and all that stuff, so it is kind of hard to order from a lot of different places. So as an American, you know, it does make it a little hard, considering I am short on money, so I have to figure out how to work it with my budget. And if I did do the World War One stuff, it probably would not be nearly this big. It'd probably maybe be like 48 by 48, just to start off simple, because I have a lot of reddish brown pieces, like, as you can see in here. Like, I have a bit of reddish brown and stuff like that, but not enough to maybe do, you know, like a whole 48 by 96 World War One build, because that's a lot of reddish brown. And the thing with reddish brown is, if you buy the older ones from, like, the early Star Wars sets, like, early 2000s or whatever, stuff like that, I guess, it's brittle and breaks easily. So you kind of got to pay attention to that. So enough yapping from me. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Sorry if I'm a little slow right now in terms of just not saying the right thing, like how earlier I think I literally called the American Civil War the American Revolution on accident without paying attention. That's a first for me. But yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about anyways. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, probably won't showcase this build much more. Probably gonna be taking this apart bit by bit, because I did, as you can see here, take apart the Iwo Jima build that I had. I forget if I had the other one, the I think it's Sword Beach, or no, it was Gold Beach, sorry. Took apart Gold Beach, so I have this small little thing I'm doing. This is actually a future project. It's actually the Battle of Budapest, because a while back I did the Battle of Budapest, but it was more the outskirts and stuff. So this is going to be like a little tiny, like, build of just the city fighting. And I want to have, like, a house here or just something with no one in it. Just a random little thing. And just have some Germans and some Soviets kind of about to fight around here. I think it'd be neat just to do something random like that. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this build that I have over here. As you can see, there's another view of it. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Have a great Christmas, which obviously I'll make more videos before then, but in the off chance I don't, have a great Christmas, and I hope you all have had a great day, whatever day you're watching this, and I hope that you all have had a great year so far, because this year is coming to a close. We're going from 2025 to 2026. So, yeah. See you all in the next video, whatever that video is.